Hi, it's Amy. I'm here today just to give you some good, fresh, healthy eating tips. I've been trying to eat healthy, as I know a lot of you are, and one thing I discovered is avocados, and especially guacamole. And I like to make my own fresh guacamole for a number of reasons. First of all, when I make it myself, I know that I'm using nice fresh ingredients and I know that there's no preservatives in it. But also because I have high blood pressure, I have to watch my sodium content. And I know that a lot of the prepackaged guacamoles have a lot of sodium in it. So when I make my own guacamole, I can control the amount of salt that I put in and keep the sodium level down. So my first tip today is to start with a nice, good avocado. This one's a little bit bigger than I normally get. I usually will buy a Hass avocado, but they didn't have any today at the store. So I bought this one, but it's nice and green. It's maybe a little bit underripe. To pick a ripe avocado, it should be firm, but it should yield a little bit when you press on it. So if it's rock hard, it's not nearly ripe enough, but that's okay if you're not going to use it for a couple days. You can still buy that if you're making guacamole at the end of the week. That one would be okay. If it's really, really brown and squishy, it's probably overripe, and I would not buy that one. If it's just a little bit squishy, then that one's probably okay if you're going to use it that day. So again, start with a nice, fresh, firm avocado. The second thing is just use fresh ingredients. I love cilantro. I love the smell of it. I wish you could smell it. I love the taste of it. And my guacamole always has cilantro in it. I also like to use a nice red onion. I use fresh garlic. I have a garlic press, and I like to press my own fresh garlic into my guacamole. I also use Roma tomatoes, and I'll cut it open and take the meat out of it and just use the outside of it, chop it up. If you're going to make your guacamole and use it later in the day, you might want to wait and put the tomato in just before you serve it. The other thing that I like, because I like mine to have a little bit of a kick, is a fresh jalapeno pepper. Again, be very careful with this because a little bit of this goes a long way. So kind of start with a little bit, add it, and see if maybe you need a little bit more. But nice fresh jalapeno is something I like. I also add my own fresh lemon juice. I used to always have real lemon in my refrigerator until I actually read the label and figured out that it wasn't just lemon juice, that it had all kinds of preservatives in it. So now if I'm going to make guacamole, I'll have a fresh lemon on hand for that. And then I like to use a coarse salt. This is kosher salt. And I will add just a little bit of salt to taste. And that way I can control how much sodium is in it, but I do add a little bit for flavor. So again, here all my fresh ingredients, nice avocado, fresh ingredients. I just chop these up coarsely, mix them together, and put them in a bowl in the refrigerator. Now the next trick is, what do you do if you want to make it now but use it a little bit later? Because as you know, sometimes avocado can start to turn brown, and that is because oxygen is the enemy of guacamole. And so here's a bowl of guacamole. You can see it's nice and green right now. If I were to put this in the refrigerator, even just covered with plastic wrap like this, within a little while it's going to start turning brown. And that's because even though you're covering it with plastic wrap, there's still oxygen in there. Now I've heard that putting the pit of the avocado on top of the guacamole, that somehow the pit will absorb the oxygen and it won't turn brown. I've not tried that, so if you've tried that and it works, let me know. I haven't tried it yet. So what I do is take the plastic wrap and actually push it down onto the guacamole. And then I'll just put it in the refrigerator like that. And then that way there's no oxygen getting to the surface of the guacamole, so it won't turn brown on you. And it'll stay a little bit fresher. And this should last in the refrigerator for a couple days. I wouldn't use it for any longer than a couple of days. So if you'd like some more fresh, healthy eating tips, check out my Facebook page at www.facebook.com/GetHealthyAmy.